Happy New Year, y'all. Welcome back. Chris Bowen here from Meat Off the Bone and County Kitchen. It's a new year, and I was going through some of my previous videos from the past year, and some of them, for some reason on YouTube, when they uploaded, they were complete, but for some reason, some of them are just not complete, so I went through and deleted like 7 or 8 of them. Now, I don't remember which ones I did delete, so I should have written them down, and that's totally my fault. Brain fart. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to remember the ones that I did delete, and try and redo them again. So I'm not sure if I deleted this one, but I just couldn't find it. So I know I've done it before, but I just can't find it. So I'm just going to do it again, and if I have it on twice, big deal. The way I'm going to do this today is a little bit different from last time, so it's a totally different video anyway. Anyway, I'm going to show you all how to make a really, really easy, quick cheese sauce. Not really from scratch, because we're not making a cheese from scratch, but you know, like from scratch. Everyone knows what American cheese is, right? Okay, this is American cheese. Everyone, all of you know what American cheese, you know, sliced, you know, in the little plastic packets. People call it plastic cheese. Some of you get them actually sliced and it looks like this. This is called a cheese loaf. It's American cheese, but in a solid block form. All right. Well, we are going to make cheese sauce out of this. It's really, 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 really easy, and like really, really quick too. Like surprisingly quick. Okay. Cheese loaf, well, just one block of American cheese. You can find these at any Food Lion or Giant or Piggly Wiggly, whatever floats your boat. Yeah, just unsliced, and it's actually cheaper unsliced than sliced because, well, it's a pain in the butt to slice that thin. So yeah, 4 little pints of milk, or what are these, half pints? I don't know. Anyway, 4 of these little things. You get these at your supermarket for like what, 50 cents? Just some seasoning. I have a fajita and adobo, and of course, when I make my cheese sauce, I always put my chilies in. That's a total must. That's a little secret. So I know it's on YouTube, but don't tell nobody. Just say it's yours. Ah, that's better. All right. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slice this up into small cubes, about maybe 1 inch by inch. And throw them in there, put these in there, put that in there, melt this, and then put this in, and we're done. That's it. That's the entire video right there. Just go out, spend 3, 5, whatever seasoning, $2, $7, and you have cheese sauce. Really, really good cheese sauce, and not the type that really gets hard after it gets cold. It stays relatively viscous for, you know, chips and stuff, and it trust me, the flavor is there, and you'll want to do this a lot. Again, if you don't need quite that much for yourself, make it, put it in a Tupperware, put it in the refrigerator, and it'll hold for a good week in an airtight, you know, whatever, and I can guarantee your family will eat it up, guaranteed. The reason I'm making it today is because I have a hankering for broccoli. I'm gonna make some broccoli, so why not make broccoli and cheese? Who can go wrong with broccoli and cheese? 1 billion kids on the planet can't be wrong. They love broccoli and cheese. All right, well, let's get started. Let me bring this out of the way and introduce the beloved cutting board. We will need a knife. It doesn't have to be serrated, but I found that serration actually does chop a little bit better. All right. And I appreciate the holiday cheer from a lot of you over the course of the holiday season. So thank you very much. And all I'm doing is just going down. This right here is the hardest part of the entire video. Because the smaller the chunks, the easier it is to melt. So, yeah. And if you want to use the sliced American, you can, but for some reason, well, not for some reason, this is like half the price of sliced American cheese. If you really want to use the American cheese, that's fine. All I'm using is American. I'm not using any of the 3 cheeses like I usually do. This is just a quick, easy, really, really delicious cheese sauce. And it's using just American cheese. You can use cheddar. You can use your jack. I have like some pepper jack in the back, but you know, I just want to show you how to do it with American, because everyone likes American, and American cheese melts so much better than a lot of the other cheeses. Like a sharp cheddar is so delicious, but it's murder trying to melt that into a consistent, even form, even using heavy cream and milk. But today we're just using 1% milk. We're not using any cream. Just something you find around your house, actually. This is so easy, so anyone can do it. If you're a college kid, I highly recommend this. If you're a mother with kids, I recommend this. If you're older and you live alone and you want something, you know, something you've had before but you just never really got around to doing it, this is so easy. All right. And this is it. This is it. You just make them into like cubes. The reason I do them into cubes like this is because they melt evenly. Instead of putting the entire block in and trying to melt that entire block, that would take, oh my goodness, I don't even want to think about how many days that would take. Because all we're using is the microwave. We're not even using the stove. It's a total microwave. Anyone can do this. Anyone. If you want to teach your kids how to start cooking something, like maybe even a broccoli and cheese, show them this. Have them do it next time. You know, of course, be careful about the knife and all, but of course I missed a lot, but this is it. Get our trusty. See, this is why I keep a clean surface at all times. Just for instances like this. I keep a clean prepping spot. This metal stays spotless. I'm proud of that. I'm being texted. All right. All right. The hardest part of the video is done. Now, all 4. You can use 1%, 2%, fat-free milk, whatever that is. You can use heavy cream if you want. It's going to become, if you use heavy cream, it's going to be a much thicker, firmer cheese sauce. I'm using the 1% because, one, it's milk, it's dairy. Secondly, it doesn't have a high fat content because I'm letting the cheese be its high fat content. Plus, it's so liquidy that the milk and the cheese will actually conform to each other and mix really, really, really well into a really smooth, even consistency that will pour or ladle over the broccoli. So, I mean, if you really want to do a really nice, smooth, thin, but not overly thin cheese sauce, I 1%. I mean, you're not going to taste it. All right. Now you can cover this, or you don't have to cover it. I always cover it because when you cover and you use the microwave, the steam on the inside gets trapped, and it heats and melts the cheese that much faster. All right, we are ready. We are so ready. Open up the monster. Have you noticed I am not putting any seasoning or any of the chilies in yet? All I'm doing is melting the cheese. Power high. I'm only gonna go for 8 minutes. Since my microwave is stupid powerful, I won't even need 8 minutes. But at home, your microwave is probably a little bit less powerful, and also depending on the container that you use, you might want to go a full 15 minutes, but periodically every 5 or 6 minutes, just check it. If you want to stir a little bit with a fork, feel free. I'm going to use a whisk, but I know it's going to be totally melted. Using a whisk before it's melted will just get cheese caught up in your whisk prongs, and use a fork until you know it's the consistency that you want, and then you use the whisk to combine it evenly. You'll see when I take it out, you'll see how the cheese is melted, but you can still see milk over here. You'll see. And once the cheese is totally combined, that's when I throw in my chilies and I throw in my seasoning. Actually, I think I've shown you guys how to use this thing right here. This is a kind of like not industrial size, but everyone's seen one. You know, you put the can down and you know. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to do it. But you have to hold this thing up. So what I'm going to do is hold it up like that, throw my can under, like so, and you can see right there that little prong, that little thing sticking down right there. That's going to go inside the can. If I can. Haha! Put the handle down. No! I hate it when this happens. There we go. See how the can's moving? Voila! And just an FYI, if you ever use a can opener that's not electric, because electric doesn't know when to stop until the lid's already done, I always keep my lid on. Always. Because once you're done with your product, once you're done with the ingredient, whatever you're pouring out, take the lid and push it in. That's all nice and stuff, but if you take the lid and you throw it away, you have a random rogue razor blade chilling in your dish or your trash can. Whenever you take the trash out and you hit one of those, not very good. So what I recommend is if you want, whenever you open up a can, leave it on. That way, whenever you dump your product out and you have an empty can, push the lid down inside and throw it away. Throw it in your recyclables or your trash can or whatever. That way the lid stays in the can and there is virtually zero chance of getting some rogue razor blade in your hand. Just a FYI, I know it's kind of, you know, you can get a great visual on that, but yeah, you don't want it to happen, right? You can see that little thing right here, right on my palm. Yeah, that happened from doing that years ago. Anyway, we put it in for 7 minutes and it's already at 3 something. You see how it's melting really nice. See how it's not mixing yet, but the cheese is, you can see it's shiny and soft. It's melting very nicely. I don't want to touch it. Just looking at it, make sure it's, you know, it's even. I don't think I'm gonna talk for another 3.5 minutes, so we're gonna fast forward this. All right. As you can see, about 20 seconds. I'm not worried about no 20 seconds. Let's see what it looks like. Aha! Look at that. The cheese is no longer soft, but it's actually bubbling up and melted. 8 minutes, that's what it does. I'm putting you down because this thing is very hot and I don't want the steam to hurt my hand. So. This is where I break out my whisk. I didn't have to check earlier because I've done this so many times before. I didn't have to use my fork, but this is, you know, if you want to use your fork just to make sure it's consistent. See how it's not quite integrated with each other. It's not quite totally combined, but it is melted. And just start off small. You can see the cheese is melted on top and the milk is under. See, there's all that milk down there. No problem. Because cheese is dairy and milk is dairy, they have no problems integrating with each other. They have no problem at all. They like it, they're friendly. That's why this sauce is so easy to do. You can see it's turning a nice light orange. I'm sorry about my phone going off, y'all. My phone should be on my desk, but it's not. It's in my pocket. I totally forgot to take it out. Oh well, the life of a YouTuber. Look at this. That is looking just about perfect. Perfecto, I say. Yeah, there might be a couple of, you know, rogue browner pieces from the ones that are on the side that melted and burned a little bit, but nah, I'm not worried about that. All right, let's hopefully this will stay there. Maybe, hopefully. Now I'm gonna take my seasonings. This is just a fajita seasoning. You can use salt, pepper, even garlic, whatever. Fajita seasoning has that all up in it. I don't use a lot. And of course, my favorite, adobo. You want to over season it because you still want to taste of the cheese, but that little bit of a salt goes a long way. A long way. And finally, the chilies. The entire can. And like I said earlier, the can lid, push down. See, it's not going to go anywhere. Goodbye. You're not going to cut yourself. All right, back to whisking. This is it. This is the cheese sauce that you're looking for. That is it. Now serve this immediately if you can. I have a warmer, so I'll keep this relatively hot, not really hot, but warm at least like 150 degrees. Don't keep it in your oven. If you have a warmer, use it. If you can use it immediately, use it. It does melt. If you bring this to a party, I would suggest using a microwave. So bringing a plastic container instead of a metal one. Just microwave it, mix it up so it's the consistency, the heat that you want, and you can serve. I wouldn't suggest using an oven because that will dry the cheese out and it'll put this crust on the top that you will never get away. And it just you lose that entire amount of cheese that's crust on the top that you don't want. This is perfect. This is a cheese sauce. This is a cheese sauce. It's not like, it's not thick, but it's not thin here. See, that's a little pepper. That's from the chilies. That. And it's also hot, so when it does cool down a little bit, it does thicken up just a little bit, but not a lot. This is the consistency that you want. And this is like so good. Cheese, the peppers, and the saltiness of the seasoning. I kid you not, people will come from miles around just to have your cheese sauce if you make this. And I just showed you how to do it. So easy. It's what, $7, and you have, and you're for $7, you're the most popular person on your block. guaranteed. Well, that's it. Have a great weekend, y'all. It is Friday. Happy New Year again to you. My name is Chris Bone. This is County Kitchen. Thank you for the support. Oops. Hear from you all soon. Y'all take care.